Well, how's it going, subscribers? How's it going, new viewers? I'm Ion Prime, and today we're looking at, some new PlayStation accessories that were announced today, and state of play predictions. I've got a couple of bold ones. Whether they come true or not, we'll have to see. And in today's Why Is It In My Collection, I'm going to look at my top 5 favorite PlayStation 1 games that are in my collection. But first up, Sony dropped some news ahead of their big State of Play, which is coming up tomorrow afternoon. Be some accessories, and they got the release dates and also the prices for these accessories. First up is their Flex Strike fighting stick. This stick looks really cool. I'm not huge into fighting games, but man, this stick, to me, I would say it's more of an arcade stick, but man, it looks really, really cool. It'll be for the PlayStation 5, also for PC. There's even a hard shell case that you can get for it. Now, this is no coincidence that this is going to be releasing right about the same time as Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Now, it's going to release on August 6th. It'll be $199.99, which is actually not a terrible price for this stick. Same price as the DualSense Edge, their Pro controller. And it'll come out, pre-orders, will start on June 12th for the Flex Strike stick. And next up is their 27-inch QHD gaming monitor. Now, this will release on August 27th. It'll have VRR, have 120 hertz refresh rate for the PS5 and PS5 Pro, but for PC, it'll have 240 hertz. Lots of other features with this monitor as well. It's also going to have a charging station for your DualSense controller, which is kind of cool. But pre-orders will begin on Friday, and this will be $349 US for the monitor. And they did, just to give a brief update on the Pulse Elevate wireless speakers, all they said is that they'll be coming later this year. No exact date, no price on those. But I have a feeling that during the State of Play tomorrow, we might get some more details on all of these accessories during that State of Play coming up tomorrow. Next up, I love the Streets of Rage series. I wore out my cartridges on the Sega Genesis. I got the collector's edition for Streets of Rage 4 from Limited Run Games a few years ago. They're absolutely awesome games. And Streets of Rage will now be another of the many video game to movie adaptations that'll be coming out. Now, the writers of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, they will be doing the script for Streets of Rage. It'll be directed by, is it James Samuel? Jeymes. I believe that's how you say his first name, but he'll be directing. And it's too early to tell right now who's actually going to play Axel, Blaze, Mr. X, any of the other characters. But this Streets of Rage definitely would make for a fantastic movie if it's done right. We shall see. Well, Sony's State of Play is tomorrow, and it's going to be available to watch at select Alamo draft houses. Now, Daniel Ahmed on X, he has leaked the menu for that particular showing, and you have Savage Sticks, which is pretzel sticks topped with Parmesan, and you have a marinara dipping sauce. Rage Pizza, which is pepperoni, bacon, sausage, mushrooms, and a signature cheese. And then a couple of drinks. You have The Last Stand, which is a vodka, a coffee liqueur, and a cold brew coffee. And then Mutant Instinct, which is a Crown, Mezcal, and Lime. The food sounds really good. The drinks, I don't know. Coffee's not my thing. I don't know. The Mutant Instinct might be pretty good, but I'm not going to be seeing it at Alamo Draft House. I'm going to be watching on YouTube like everybody else. But if you're going to Alamo Draft House, folks, have a great time. And the menu, as far as the food, does look really good for the State of Play coming up tomorrow. And several retro games recently, they've been getting that decompilation treatment, and Super Mario 64 is one of those. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is another, and Paper Mario for the N64. It is the latest one that you'll be able to play without an emulator. All you need is a copy of the ROM. That's what makes it all legal, and you can play it in your web browser through RT64. Now, it's still an early build, but you can do like some texture swaps in it. There's some other really cool features with that decompilation. But again, this is the legal way that they can upscale this retro game and be able to play it on hardware that is not Nintendo's. But definitely check this out if you get a chance to play this decompilation of Paper Mario, which is out now. But again, early stages, so it might be a little rough at first, but I'm sure people will continue to work on it and it'll definitely smooth out. And finally, we got Sony's State of Play, which is coming up tomorrow in my time zone. It starts at 4 in the afternoon. It'll be just over an hour long. I believe the first 10 to 15 minutes, if I read the blog right, will be Wolverine. So we'll get probably gameplay. Hopefully we'll get pre-order information for it. Maybe we'll get a demo, as we're only, 2 months out from it now. So yeah, I think we could probably get a demo for Wolverine. I think that would be really cool. But some other predictions I have for this state of play is hopefully, and again, this is just a wish because I love the game. I love the remakes, but the third game in the Final Fantasy VII series, I think it will be here. If it's not, it could be at Summer Games Fest. But as I say all this, they did that Dragon Quest video where they just talked about the new Dragon Quest 12. Square Enix could actually just do their own thing for this third installment of Final Fantasy VII. So who knows? It might not be at any of these events coming up over the next few days. And let's see. I think they're going to have gameplay for Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. I think this game is going to release late next year. Is when it's going to come out. So I think we are somewhat that close to getting Intergalactic for the PlayStation 5. I think it'll be. I think it looks like it'll be a pretty cool game. Something I would definitely want to check out. And my last prediction is we're not going to get a full reveal, but I think we're going to get some kind of tease for the PlayStation 6. I really wish Sony would wait until like 2030 to release the next edition of their PlayStation console. But I know they want to keep to this usual timeline of, 7 years or so for each console. But man, with the way prices are right now, with just the way we really haven't gotten the full potential out of the PlayStation 5, it needs some more years on it. And I think 2030 would be a better bet to release the PlayStation 6. But I think we'll get some kind of tease of the new system. We're not going to get a full reveal, just a tease on it, but I think that may happen tomorrow during the Sony State of Play. So we'll see. I may be completely wrong on all these predictions, but that's why they are predictions, and that's why these are not anything in stone. All right, so time now for why is it in my collection? And I'm going to give you 5 of my favorite PlayStation 1 games. And okay, I'm going to go and say that I am a huge Final Fantasy fan, so it should be no secret that this is going to be a very Final Fantasy heavy top 5 edition. But obviously, Final Fantasy VII. That is obviously probably, I flip between this one and Metal Gear Solid as my favorite, all-time favorite PlayStation 1 games. The PlayStation 7, or Final Fantasy 7, definitely a favorite for the PlayStation 1. Now I'm going to include actually 2 games in this one, only because there are a couple of compilations, and these have some arcade games that I very much love to play in the arcade back in the day. So the first one is this arcade party pack, and the reason that I wanted to pick this one up is that it has Smash TV and Rampage, 2 great arcade games that I put so many quarters in playing in my days in the arcade, but definitely love playing Smash TV, especially that twin stick shooter. Works really well with the PlayStation 1 DualShock controller. But then I also have Midway Presents Arcades at Greatest Hits, and this one has most notably Road Blasters. That was a fun game of mine. Now in the arcade you had the steering wheel to where you could drive the car with the wheel, and then you had the triggers where you could shoot your weapons and stuff. But I definitely love playing Road Blasters. It was a great port here to the PlayStation. The arcade version of Gauntlet was a lot of fun, and the arcade version of Paperboy on this collection. So I'm counting those as 2 just because they are compilations of different games that I loved. Next up, Gran Turismo 2. I put so many hours into this game, unlocked so many cars, customized. It was the Mitsubishi Eclipse. It was the Mitsubishi Eclipse they had in here that I customized and just tricked out completely. That was my favorite car to play in here. But Gran Turismo 2, so many hours that I put into this in the PlayStation 1. Next up, no surprise, another RPG, The Legend of Dragoon. Love this. Got it when they put it in the Classics catalog on PlayStation Plus, and I also have it on the PlayStation 1. Love playing it. The case is a little worse for wear. I need to find a new case for it because it really doesn't hold the disc very well. As you can see, they're just kind of falling out. So I need to find a new case to keep this. But yeah, love The Legend of Dragoon. Great game. And then finally, Metal Gear Solid. And again, I was talking about Final Fantasy, how I always flip between Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid as my favorite games on the PlayStation 1. And Metal Gear Solid, definitely a favorite of mine. One of the first games that I bought for my PlayStation 1, and have loved the Metal Gear Solid series ever since. Love this game. And of course, Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX, I have those games as well for my PlayStation 1. I could have included those in this top 5, but it would have been just all Final Fantasy. But I love the Final Fantasy series. I love all 3 Final Fantasy games that are on the PlayStation 1. And like I said, they could have been in this stack, but I had to leave them out. But I did have to mention them as other heavy favorites on the PlayStation 1. But these are my top 5 here. Legend of Dragoon, Metal Gear Solid, Gran Turismo 2, these 2 arcade packs of games, just arcade games that I loved, and Final Fantasy VII. Well, folks, you know what to do. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you don't. My name is Ion Prime. Thank you so much for watching today. If you want to get some more details on anything that I've talked about today, you can find those down in the description below, all my sources for the stories today. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Love to have you as a subscriber. If you're a new viewer, thank you so much for watching today. And if you want to continue being a viewer and not subscribe, I'll take that as well. But thank you so much for watching. And let's see. I believe that is it. Keep your controllers charged, my friends. Tomorrow, I will be watching the Sony State of Play, and tomorrow's video will be a wrap-up of that State of Play coming up for tomorrow. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'll be watching it, taking some notes, and then we'll go over what a lot of the big stuff that they talked about in that video tomorrow. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.